What team are we on, y'all? Are we team Bakers? Are we team Murtaughs? Welcome back to Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. If you're new here on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. So yes, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get started with our special feature today, which is titled Cheaper by the Dozen 2. And you guys can find this film streaming right now on Disney+. But first, let me tell y'all what this film is about. Tom Baker and his wife Kate take their children for what they hope will be a relaxing summer at a lakeside resort. Ooh, that sounds cozy. When the Bakers ends up with the shoddiest unit imaginable, a clueless but well-meaning Tom struggles to repair himself. To make matters worse, Tom's old nemesis, Jimmy Murtaugh, and his gigantic family appear on the scene and engage the Bakers in a not-so-friendly rivalry that threatens to spoil their trip. Y'all, we just recently reviewed part 1, which was so adorable. I told y'all that was just so cute. This humongous family here, it just puts you in a total good mood, and you just laughing and having a great time throughout the film. And that's part 1. And part 2 did not fail at all, y'all. If I had to choose between the two, I can't even really choose which one was better because they were just both equally as good to me. They did what a sequel's supposed to do. It's supposed to up it a notch, and I got that here in part 2. But at the same time, and it also still had the ingredients that made it work, y'all, in part 1. They brought it back. They really did for part 2 here. And one of the main things that I look for when we are dealing with a sequel, y'all, I just can't help myself. Number one, I'm checking for the characters that was in part 1, because I cannot stand when we have some characters in part 1 who are very significant to the plot, the story, the whole 9 yards, and you don't bring them back for part 2. That is an issue for me, y'all. So I have to say I love this, because to me it really made me feel like as the reviewer that I am part of the Baker's family, because all the kids, we saw them here in part 2, and it felt like what it was. Like it was a couple of years between both movies, and we saw the kids a little bit older, the parents a little bit, more seasoned. We saw that transition, and you felt like you grew up with them, even though it's a movie and we haven't seen them for 2 years, but at the same time we feel like we can piece together what happened when y'all was away. Okay, it didn't feel like we missed much of anything, and I love that. And I feel that that's how sequels should be. It shouldn't be like so crazy insane where you're like, okay, how did we get here? And this didn't feel that way at all. I can see how we got here, okay? Because you was holding my hand, I was holding your hand. We're walking down this road together in these 2 years. But yes, the characters here are just as delightful, y'all, in part 1. Even though they have grown so much, the kids here, they are still getting into little stuff. Still causing chaos and ruckus. Y'all not past that yet, okay? And I'm talking like I'm complaining, but I'm really not, because y'all see the smile on my face. I was loving it too, okay? I am team Bakers here. I'm loving the way these kids do. They do not play no games, okay? When they coming for you, they coming straight for you. And I love that here. And we get to see, because it almost paints, like y'all know, like in part 1, not to say that this is a perfect family. We all know, as far as according to what humans think as perfect, there is no perfect person. But a person could think, just looking at the Bakers from the outside, like they got it all. This perfect house, perfect family, all these kind of things, jobs, all this stuff. Like, what are you really missing? Like, nobody could possibly have any issues with the Bakers, because they're so wonderful, right? But here we get to see, yes, there was always something. There was always an enemy there. There really was, y'all. And here we get to meet the rival, okay, of Tom here. Like Tom is so And that's the dad, y'all. He is such a sweetheart that you just cannot imagine like somebody not really liking him, because he has such a good spirit, and he's so full of joy. Like he's playful, he's wonderful. He is that kind of dad that you would expect a good dad to be. That's him in every aspect. So you really cannot imagine somebody not liking Tom. And yet here we meet the Murtaughs. And Jimmy had something against Tom like his entire life. This started from back, I guess, in college, okay? He was always jealous of Tom. Tom seemed like he just had it all. He was talented on the field. He ended up with the perfect girl and all these different things. It just seemed like Tom just had a full ride, okay? Like, just looking at it from the outside. And Jimmy secretly did not like that. He really didn't. He felt like, why I gotta be him? Why can't it be me, okay? And then for these two to end up later, okay, and from what I can tell, like this has been going on for years, all right? And the Murtaughs, they just as big. They have just as big of a family, and they've been participating like at this lakeside resort in this like family event where you're going in competition and who wins this trophy at the end. And the Murtaughs always did their thing. And so it's like, what you got to be jealous of, Jimmy? But at the same time, I guess it just reminds you, y'all, because everybody, we all go through high school and just different parts of our lives that you could probably feel like, oh, why if I could trade places with this person, I would, or whatever. I mean, so many people when you're younger, you have that type of deal sometimes. Not everybody, but a lot of people. A lot of us can fall into that and feel like, wow, look at this person over here. I would love to have their life, or just different things that they got going on. But to hold on to that and to carry it into your adult years, like, and you never let it go. And that's what we're dealing with here on both ends. Like I told y'all, Jimmy aspect, from how he's looking at it, like Tom just had it all. And from Tom aspect, he's looking at it like, this guy always had something against me, and he wanted to, he wanted to win this little family competition. So it's all fun, it's all cute, it's nothing like so like serious, or where it's like make you feel like, okay, this is just too much, because of course we're dealing with a family film. So yeah, it's just all fun and it's just beautiful. But it does, for me, my takeaway as far as lessons, because y'all know I love to pull lessons from these films, and I would say my takeaway is to be content with what you have, and your journey is not going to be the next person's. It's not going to look nothing like theirs. Even if you so-called end up in a similar destination, like the guys here, the husbands here, they ended up in a similar destination because they both have these humongous families and different things going on in their life. They're both having a little bit of success here and there, but the journey was different. The path was different. And you have to embrace that. And that's my takeaway from this film. Like, embrace your unique journey, and that God, whatever he has for you is for you, and it's something amazing. That's what you should desire at the end of the day. Desire what God has for you, whatever that may be, because it's not going to look exactly like what he has for the next person. But that doesn't mean that you are less important, less significant, or that person is better and more important or more loved to God. No. And this is something that I felt like the husbands here like really needed to overcome and conquer in this film. And it's done in such a beautiful way, and a fun way, where you're gonna get the message, where it's not like it feels like it's like pounded into your head. It's nothing like that at all, because you're just having a good time. But of course, these things are gonna pop up in your mind. It's gonna be in your self-conscious. You're gonna roll it over and be like, okay, yeah, I learned something here. But overall, it's just fun, and you just gotta love the Bakers. I just feel like this was so cool. I would love to see a part 3. That would be amazing. But I know by this time, of course, the kids are probably all adults now. But yes, we just went on a special ride here, y'all, at this lakeside resort. It was fun. But before I leave y'all for this morning, let's go ahead and get into our scripture, right? Look at me, I'm like almost all off, because y'all be getting a video in the evening. I'm like, okay, you don't see this in the evening or in the morning. What we doing, okay? But yes, okay, let's see here. We're coming out of Psalms chapter 62, verse 10, and it reads, do not trust in oppression, nor vainly hope in robbery. If riches increase, do not set your heart on them. So that's all I have for y'all for this video. Please remember to leave your thoughts, your prayers, your overall take in the comment section below, because I do read everything and I do enjoy hearing from you. And until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.